Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors to sign Brazilian forward. 2 years away from being 2 years away is a famous quote by ESPN's Fran Fraschilla. During the 2014 NBA draft, the Toronto Raptors selected Bruno Caboclo, inspiring Fraschilla to say the phrase used in jokes and references 10 years since. However, amid a potential comeback, the Brazilian talent has an NBA team in his crosshairs. According to his agent, Daniel Hazan, his client has the Golden State Warriors in mind. He will train with the Golden State Warriors until Thursday with the aim of signing a contract, and he believes he will succeed, Hazan told Sports Channel in Israel. Caboclo played 105 games in 7 seasons. Ultimately, Franschilla's draft day quote dominated his production in the NBA. Nonetheless, Caboclo seeks another chance in the best league in the world. If the Cinderella story regresses to a pumpkin, there are other options. According to Hazan, Caboclo has a second club in mind. Hazan also confirmed that signing with Hapoel Shlomo Tel Aviv is a second option. "We are in negotiations, we are making good progress. It's definitely an option worth keeping," Hazan said. Caboclo impressed during the 4 matches with Brazil at the 2024 Paris Olympics. During the Olympics, the 28-year-old averaged 17.3 points, 7.0 rebounds, 1.5 steals, 0.8 blocks. Golden State isn't precisely closed for business, as its roster has a few tweaks to make. Perhaps the Warriors will give Caboclo a shot during training camp. If it doesn't work out for the Warriors, they cut him. However, if Caboclo's training session is underwhelming, maybe the realization settles, he's not built for the NBA and, instead, can focus on playing in Israel. Report: Warriors turned down several draft pick offers for Brandin Podziemski. The Golden State Warriors have been quite adamant this offseason that they are confident in guard Brandin Podziemski to build off his promising rookie campaign. Despite engaging in plenty of trade talks to acquire a second bona fide scorer to pair with Steph Curry, the Dubs refused to part with Podziemski. In a report by Anthony Slater of The Athletic, there was another wrinkle to offseason trade talks around Pods. Per Slater's reporting, several teams tried to use draft capital to add Podziemski this offseason. The Warriors fielded several medium to high-value draft pick offers for Podziemski in June, team sources confirmed, wrote Slater. The Warriors, however, declined to bite. Weeks later, Podziemski's trade value became a hotter topic when it became clear that the Utah Jazz, if they were to even entertain moving Lauri Markkanen, would need Podziemski as part of the return package. While Podziemski was at the center of plenty of rumors around acquiring a more proven piece, the fact that teams without a more proven piece were still angling to add the young guard is another endorsement of his stock around the league. It's hard to gauge what exactly a medium to high-value draft pick offer entails, especially with a draft class that was considered fairly weak by many experts. Considering Podziemski was the 19th overall selection and was one of his class' most productive rookies, a first-round pick in the 15 to 20 range would seem like a conservative gauge for a medium-value offer, with a lottery pick, maybe even cracking the top 10, serving as a high-value offer. Nevertheless, barring a 3-team deal that brought an all-star to Golden State, it's easy to see why those offers were not enticing. Podziemski told Slater that Warriors brass was incredibly communicative with the young guard throughout the offseason. He shared that general manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. told him, "A lot of these other teams are calling about you. They want you, but you're not going anywhere. You're ours." The trade offers the Warriors received for Brandin Podziemski. The Golden State Warriors could have been a new-look team this upcoming season if things had gone differently this summer. 21-year-old shooting guard Brandin Podziemski was inquired about by several teams, but the promising talent will stay in the Bay. Golden State could have landed a king's ransom of picks for the Santa Clara alum, via The Athletic's Anthony Slater. The Warriors fielded several medium to high-value draft pick offers for Podziemski in June, team sources confirmed. The Warriors, however, declined to bite. Warriors general manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. was transparent with Pods about it, though. "A lot of these other teams are calling about you," Podziemski said Dunleavy told him. "They want you, but you're not going anywhere. You're ours." Podziemski, who made the NBA All-Rookie First Team last season, was especially desired by the Utah Jazz. The Jazz were shopping big man Lauri Markkanen, and they said that the 6'4", 205-pounder would have to be included in the deal for Golden State to get him. Warriors owner Joe Lacob, though, echoed Dunleavy's sentiments. "He told me, you don't have anything to worry about. You're a priority here," Podziemski said. "I appreciate that, being a rookie and going into my second year, hearing that from such a prestigious organization. It feels good. I'm wanted somewhere. So, I appreciate them. They could keep me in the dark until a trade is done." But Mike and Joe were transparent from the draft to the Paul George situation to the Markkanen situation. Podziemski will play a big role in shaping Golden State's future, especially with Steph Curry and Draymond Green now being 36 and 34 years old, respectively. With Klay Thompson now off to the Dallas Mavericks, Podziemski will be leaned on more going forward. Will the 2023 WCC Co-Player of the Year be worth the investment? While there's a school of thought that says Golden State should mortgage the future to go all in on a ring before Curry retires, it would be irresponsible to throw away a promising young player for anything less than a bona fide star. Podziemski even noticed some fans questioning why the team kept him. "From a fan perspective, from a media perspective, there is this looking at the front office kind of crazy," Podziemski said. "Like, you didn't make any trades? You want to keep Brandin? Why him?" There are questions that obviously the public and the media has. I see my fair share of it. It's cool, and it's not. It's cool to see you're valued by another organization in the NBA for such a good player like Markkanen. But at the same time, now that the trade didn't go through, people on social media look at it like it's my fault. I don't have anything to do with it. But it's cool. Regardless, the online haters don't seem to have gotten to Podziemski enough to affect his on-court play, which he proved in this past Summer League campaign, via the NBA YouTube channel. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Brandin Podziemski? Leave your opinion in the comments.